This is your Utica Comets pregame show with Eyewitness News Sports Director David Edelstein. Utica Comets face-off.
The Utica Comets play the Syracuse Crunch for the 12th time this season. Good evening, I'm David Edelstein, and welcome again to Comets Face-Off. It's also the third of 5 games in a row against the Syracuse Crunch for the Utica Comets. And Comets forward Lucas Yasik said after Wednesday's game against Syracuse that it feels like a playoff series against them, except that it's a drawn-out playoff series that seems to be going all season long because of how often these teams have played. The Comets almost exclusively playing Syracuse and Rochester this year. Wednesday's game had that kind of intensity too, as if it was a playoff match. And in the first period, here's a little bit of a scrimmage in front of the net. Sam Annis gets the puck, and the second he did, Sven Berchi took off, and there's the goal. Annis said after the game that he and Berchi had pre-planned something like that, and it works to tie the game at 1 in the first. The Crunch do regain a 1-goal lead, though, 5 minutes later. This time, the puck is being fought for again on the Syracuse side. Behind the net, it gets turned over, and swooping in is Annis. He puts that one away for just his 3rd goal of the year. It ties the game at 2. That's the score at the break, but check this out. Look at the rookie Will Lockwood using his speed to get the puck. Nikita Alexandrov shoots. The puck's deflected right back to him, and he grabbed it out of the air, put it back on the ice, and shot it again. This time, it goes in the back of the net. The Crunch did tie it up 28 seconds later, though, for a 3-3 tie at the second break, and then Syracuse scored 38 seconds into the third to take and keep the lead. 5-3 final. Utica Comets fall. Comets head coach Trent Cole said that it was a pretty evenly matched game, though. The Comets are now 5-6-0 against Syracuse this year. And as far as the chase for the top spot by points percentage goes in the North Division, if Utica wins all 6 remaining games this year, it would have a .660 points percentage, currently only good enough for 3rd place as things stand. Head coach, rather head-to-head, Syracuse has scored nearly a 1/3 more goals than it has let up this year. Utica has let up more goals than it's allowed. Special teams can be a key tonight. Similar numbers by percentage, though Utica's had more man advantages and fewer penalties against. The Comets are without their offensive leader, Jonah Gadjevic, tonight. He's still up with the Vancouver Canucks. Sam Annis remains the points leader. He had a goal on that turnover on Wednesday, but 17 of his points this year coming off of assists, a category that he actually led the entire league in last season. With Gadjevic gone, it's Sven Berchi and John Stevens that lead the team in goals. Annis leads in points per game still, and Berchi's one shot on Wednesday was the one for the goal, and that helps him take the lead with 50 shots for the team. No surprise here for the Crunch either. Boris Kachuk has been doing it all recently. Taylor Radish does reclaim the lead in goals after a hat trick on Wednesday. Kachuk and Otto Sampi each have 11 this year, and Radish is the only other Crunch player averaging more than a point per game. He also had a season-high 11 shots on Wednesday. So we're looking forward to seeing those names in action again tonight. After the break, we have a very special and very important guest joining us. By now, you've heard that the Utica Comets will be the New Jersey Devils AHL affiliate for the next 10 years. So who better to discuss that new partnership with than New Jersey Devils General Manager Tom Fitzgerald. He's on the phone ready to say hello. We'll hear from him in 90 seconds.
You're watching the Utica Comets face-off.
By now, you've heard that the Utica Comets have partnered with the New Jersey Devils to be the Devils AHL affiliate for the next 10 years, starting next year. The Comets and Devils announced the deal yesterday after the American Hockey League Board of Governors approved the Devils AHL relocation to Utica and the Canucks AHL relocation out of Utica. And right now on the phone, very generous with his time, is New Jersey Devils General Manager Tom Fitzgerald. And Tom, before we start, I just want to throw out a fun fact here for everyone. You played hockey and made your professional debut in the AHL as part of the Islanders organization for a team at the time called the Springfield Indians. And now we all know that hockey is actually a small world. You may be better than anyone. But believe it or not, the Springfield Indians franchise that you played for and made your pro debut with is actually the present-day Utica Comets that we're playing and watching right here in Utica, right down the road tonight. So, of course, we know that that franchise's next stop is Canada, and the Devils AHL franchise is the next one in Utica. So what is it that excites you most now about this new partnership?
Oh, I think it's the community of Utica. It's the you know, we've laid down some roots there. This is where a lot of great New Jersey Devils started their careers. The fan base there, I know, are passionate about their hockey team. And I think the other thing that I have to mention is actually working with Robert Esch, and how excited we are as an organization to work with a first-class person. He's done wonders there with the community and the Comets, and the making of a first-class American Hockey League franchise excites us, knowing that we're in great hands, and we know we're going to be playing in front of passionate fan base that loves hockey, loves the Comets, but will love the Devils, and this long-term relationship should really grow the passion for both organizations.
You've spoken highly of the Utica area and how the Comets president Rob Esch has built the Utica Comets into what you called a hockey empire. So like you said, there are benefits for both sides of the deal here, the Comets and the Devils. And I'm wondering, as GM of the New Jersey Devils, what are some of the goals or the vision that you have for helping guide the Devils AHL franchise and the Utica Comets now even further into the future?
Well, first and foremost, it's building a relationship for our players and the community, whoever's there, having the community of Utica be proud of the players that come through Utica. I mean, there's only one way to get to New Jersey, and that's through Utica moving forward. So relating to these players, identifying them, understanding them, being their fans for a long period of time as they come through the process through Utica. I think, it's not just about just play the kids and we'll give them experience. Winning is a culture. So having youth, we feel we've drafted well. We feel like we can develop well. And if we're coming through there has to be a winning culture. So we'll surround our kids with good veteran players who we feel can help them grow, help them understand what winning is. And the fans of Utica deserve that. And that's our goal, is to have that winning mentality each and every year with the end goal of producing National Hockey League players.
And Tom, we know this has been such a strange year in the American Hockey League, the National Hockey League too. And now the Devils AHL franchise is getting ready to make a move up Route 8 up here to Utica. So what is your outlook on the Devils AHL coaches and staff remaining intact as they currently are?
I don't anticipate a change unless there's something that, comes across my plate with, someone has a change of heart. I think our coaching staff has done a really good job. This year was, like I said, the only thing I was concerned about this year. To be honest with you, I don't even know why they keep stats this year. I just think it's a complete development year because kids have missed so much hockey. Winning and losing did not matter to me this year because of how little some of these kids have played. So, that's our coaches have done a really good job of teaching these kids and understanding we're very young, and we've got so many PTOs and AHL deals that we just signed, which giving kids an opportunity. But the ultimate goal this year was just to get our young prospects playing and competing and feeling the puck and understanding situations and not losing that skill set. I mean, some of these kids hadn't played a game in 18 months. So that was the ultimate goal, and I think our coaching staff has done a really good job, and they're trustworthy, that's for sure.
When we look at the New Jersey Devils, we know that the NHL team is so young, like you just mentioned, and there have actually been quite a few NHL debuts for the Devils this year, players that we've seen this year and over the past few years playing against Utica. So it really does seem that the Comets fans coming to games next year and over the next 10 years will truly see guys that are really just a half step away from becoming the National Hockey League players.
That's the goal, is to develop National Hockey League players in a culture that you can sustain winning and understand and compete and work every day. And the fans of Utica will get nothing less than that. They're going to see kids who we want to promote, we want to develop, we need to develop if we want a chance to win Stanley Cups in the National Hockey League. So that's the most important thing is developing our players in Utica. And I think when we never want to put the cart before the horse, right? Like, you can't just win and then develop. you've got to develop a winning attitude, and then winning comes. But I think it's surrounding those kids with the right veterans. And don't forget, you can only have 5 of those veterans. So you're really going to be still pretty young. But it's finding the right people, and the people who want to be in Utica is the most important thing to me when we start looking at free agents in the summer. That we feel can help us develop some of our young players, help us develop a winning culture. But the most important thing is they got to want to be in Utica. And I think what Robert and his staff have done there has made Utica, if not the best, one of the best American Hockey League teams in the league. Definitely out east. I don't know if you can compare Utica to San Diego, but as far as out east and the passion of that fan base, it should be a destiny for some free agents.
New Jersey Devils General Manager Tom Fitzgerald, thank you very much for being generous with your time this evening. And we look forward to seeing you here in Utica sometime soon. But for now, it's almost time for Puck Drop against the Syracuse Crunch right here on WPNY again. On the other side of the break, we're going to send it over to Comets broadcaster Jason Shia. And after the game, you could turn into Eyewitness News first at 10 on WFXV and then Eyewitness News at 11 on WUTR for your game recap and highlights. Until then, everybody, enjoy the game. And as always, stay friendly and stay tuned.